But the world gon' scream on my name. Up the school on the run like a train. How you feel when you taking the pain? Empty thoughts cause I blew out his brain. Better know that I don't want the fame. Where it shine, yeah you know it's gon' rain. Run up my chips, put them in the bag. Lane sleeper but I can't fucking lag. Going far, I got 220 on dash. In the club, stripper bitches with ass. Not my wife, then you can't fucking crash. Lux life, stood away from the grass. Like Mike.
First episode of 15 Minutes of Fame with Daetoven. This show is about just giving people a platform, people who usually don't get the platform, and I feel like a lot of people is well deserving to have their story heard, but it's just hard to get your story out there, so I'm not creating this platform for myself. I could care less about really explaining myself, but this is all about the guests, and today we have an actor, 20 plus years mentoring and training kids, 15 plus kids, right now D1, NBA, or G League. Stand up man. He's in movies like Rich Christmas, Her Lifeline, that's on, was it BT Her, and he's in movies like The Meek, to name a few. Started off The Coward's Dream as Elijah Washington, got Michael Mikhale.
Right. What's good?
So man, not much man. Let's get right into it.
Yep.
So, how was it coming up from Longwood, New Jersey, right? Lakewood, New Jersey?
Lake always in there.
Yeah, how was it growing up in Lakewood?
It was good. It was the same as most urban areas. I won't go into detail, but I'm cut from the same cloth as everyone else.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean? Faced some adversity. I was a turbulent young man. Got into a lot of fights as a kid. Was put out of every elementary school in my little town city for fighting. In hindsight, I know what it was about. My mother, I lost my mother early. She was on something called dialysis. Mm-hmm. And this is back in 84, 85. And my mom was a pretty tall, that's where my height comes from. My mother was pretty tall. They call Amazon type build. Yeah, so she was probably 5'10", 5'11", about 180, 190. And when she was put on dialysis because her kidneys collapsed, her weight dropped tremendously. So she went from being her weight 180, 190 to 120 pounds, and her hair broke off. Her skin got really dark because when your kidneys aren't working, they can't cleanse your system. It can't cleanse the blood in your system. Mm-hmm. And back then in 85, where I grew up, that could only mean two things. Either you were a crackhead or you had AIDS. So I know in hindsight why I was fighting. Anytime I thought somebody was even thinking, my mom was a crackhead or had AIDS or something, just straight set it off. And, before that, I was really just a goofy kid. My mother's eldest sister was raising me, my aunt, who I believe was my mother, and my cousins were my sisters. Mm-hmm. Until I was about 5. Now, my mother was there every day. She was in the same household. She just had me young, so my aunt was raising me. And when my mother came back to get me, we moved across town to what they call the jungle, Martin Luther King Drive. Ain't no peace going on anywhere in the world on Martin Luther King Drive, so that's the same here.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I got beat up probably 2.5 times and just created a monster. Then I was like probably the worst little kid out there. I just was fighting. I wouldn't do anything to hurt like innocent people. I wasn't robbing old ladies or not. I wouldn't do anything to hurt my people or anybody for that. But I would fight. Drop of a hat, which took me into drama because by the time I was in 6th grade, my my mother was already sick and it wasn't looking good. Like I said, she was on dialysis for 7 years. So I watched my mom pass away slow for 7 years. But there was a program that came to our school, which was Princeton Avenue, where all the sixth graders went. So it's weird. It's set up different in Jersey, right? So elementary is K through 5, and then sixth grade, everybody in Lakewood goes to one school.
So it's a high school, basically, but from 6.
But it's all sixth graders in the entire building.
Oh, all sixth graders.
Yeah, then the middle school was 7th and 8th grade, and then the high school was 9 through 12. So, sixth grade is when I seen this first program called the BAD program, which I thought was kind of like Scared Straight, which my mom had always threatened me with. Scared Straight in Glen Mills, which is in Philly, because my great aunt was there, and I was always sent to Philly for my summers and whenever I was acting a fool, basically. But anyway, the BAD program was created, I believe, by a guy who pretty much saved my life before sports, Mr. Paradise, who eventually became the assistant principal in high school. But this BAD program, I think it had 2 meanings, and I think he lost a child to a drunk driver. So I think it started out being against drunk drivers, and then it became becoming aware of the dangers of drugs. So it was the BAD program. But me being bad as hell, I'm thinking, this is something I want to get into. Yeah. They came into the school, they put on the play. I'm like, it's a play? I'm thinking they coming in there to try to scare us, like, well, Scared Straight. I'm like, man, whatever. I ain't scared. I was tripping.
Ready.
But they came in and put on the play, and there was one character, there was a little guy, and he had all of the funny parts in the play. And I'm talking weeks after they were done, everybody was still talking about the play. All the little girls liked the dude who was making all of the jokes. So while it was going on, I was like, I can do that. But there was no teacher, no guidance counselor, nobody that was ever going to say, let his bad ass do it. I was telling myself, I can do that, yeah. And then the next year in 7th grade, I auditioned, but I didn't go for a head role, the lead role. I went for the funny character because I remember everybody loved the funny character. So I went for that. And funny story is, the day of the play, I started crying. I was like, I can't do it. Mr. Paradise was like, oh, you gonna do it. You go. I was like, I'm scared. What if they know, I don't know my words? And he was like, what the hell are you talking about? You're doing it. How are they gonna know that you don't know the word? Have they seen the script? He's like, if you get stuck on a line, you can't remember it, make something up. He taught me a valuable lesson, man, early. And I went out there, man, killed it. And from that point, I knew I could do the acting thing. Even though it wasn't seen as cool and all of that. The next year, I did, 8th grade, we did a play. We did the Arsenio Hall show, the version from In Living Color. That's way before. I'm dating myself saying that. It's way before you can remember. But from that, agents contacted my mother, and they wanted me to try out as an extra for the Cosby Show. And I used the excuse because the lady brought up me possibly getting braces. I used that excuse, like, no, I don't want to get braces, But I really was shook. I didn't want to do it.
Oh, you had jitters about that?
Yeah, I didn't want to do it because acting wasn't seen as
hard,
something that
cool
everybody was doing where I'm from, anyway. But I knew it was there, and both my mom and my dad, more than anybody, my dad always, even with me playing sports, like I grew up, I didn't want to play basketball. People can't believe that.
Oh, really?
Nah, man. I was avid boxing fan, like fanatic.
I heard you was a Gold Glove.
Yeah, I was Golden Glove, but I did that after basketball. So.
Oh, so you was old in your afterlife?
Yeah, right? I was 30. I went back 30 years old and won the super heavyweight Golden Gloves title for the novice division out in Waldorf, JC's. I was 30 years old, but I did that because I stopped boxing to play basketball. Because I could see me being able to get out of Jersey faster that way. Boxing, I'm not saying it wouldn't have happened. I'm sure it could have happened, but I still was too close to the source. I had one foot in, one foot out. So I needed something to take my attention completely off of what my reality was. You know what I'm saying? And like, don't get it twisted. I don't know if I can even say I love home. I love my family and I love everybody I grew up with, because I'm pretty much related to everybody in my area. Yeah. My family is big, you know what I'm saying? And I just love them, man. And I know for a fact, more than anything, that there's people who were more talented than I when it comes to sports, school, acting, rhyming. I was a b-boy. I grew up a b-boy. So breaking and stuff, there was people who were so talented where I'm from is insane. And what happened to me, not to be long-winded, what happened to me, what changed the course was, I told you I lost my mother early, August 25th, 1992. That same year, I think in October, my entire clique, a large portion of who I was with every day, was locked up 30 years straight. My best friend, 30 years straight. I won't say his name here, but that really hurt me. And a cousin of mine and two really close friends did 30 and a 15. Mm-hmm. So I lost my mother. My whole clique gets locked up. I don't like saying step pop or nothing like that, but my mom's lifetime boyfriend, common law husband. Mm-hmm. So I lose him the year after. And my brother that was raised with me and my mom, he was with my mother before I was, because remember, my aunt was raising me. My mom came back and got me, but she was raising my step-pops. I really hate saying that. She was raising his grandson. So we grew up as brothers. So when he passed, we got separated at the funeral. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that whole 2-year, 3-year span shook me up, like seriously. And that's the real reason I ended up at Delaware State in Delaware, because my brother was in Delaware and I was trying to find him. That's the real, and I used basketball to do it.
So Delaware State, D1, from 1997 to 99, right?
96, yeah.
Oh, 96.
To 99, yeah.
So, was your brother playing at Delaware State?
Nah, my brother's 5 years younger than me.
Well, he was going there.
He was with his biological mother and siblings, who I also grew up with. So he was living there in, I believe, Milford at the time. So I had been playing basketball at Mercer County Community, which is at home in Jersey, and had an amazing year there. Best coach that I played for when it comes to X and O's, the entire staff and everything. And they had me tap into something that I didn't even really know I had. I knew I was athletic, but I was a sniper, like shooter. Yeah, but I could. It's like basketball folks know, it's very rare to have somebody who can really jump and shoot. Yeah. And I could do both extremely well. Not, seriously. But I was at Mercer County, and my assistant coach there, I believe, Coach Bird, he got either an assistant job at UD, which is University of Delaware, or he knew he was connected with somebody at the University of Delaware. And that's where I was going to go originally. And then I found out my brother is in Milford, and Dover is closer to Milford. It's 15 minutes.
So you want to be closer?
So I went to Del State. Yeah, I didn't have a scholarship or anything. I wasn't even in class. I hate to say that. I slept on my boy's floor for about a month and a half, 2 months, and then my godbrother, who I love dearly, I owe my whole Delaware State experience to him. He even introduced him to my wife. But Alfie, my big bro, Alfie Harrison, man, took care of me. He was an RA. Hopefully, this is past the what is it? The state of liberty. he won't get in trouble for this, but
Yeah,
the stature is past. He
snitching on him?
he was an RA, and he actually put me in a room illegally, and then helped the coaches get me in class. And then the next year, I earned a scholarship. So the rest is history.
So, Bill Walton spoke highly of you, right?
Extremely.
What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot because that was the only reason I was invited to pro camp. I got injured versus UCLA. Javon Rush, I believe it was. Yeah, they thought it was Matt Barnes, but it was Javon Rush. He was called for a flagrant foul. I went up to dunk. Our bodies hit in the air. You know, you pretty much don't weigh anything in the air.
Yeah.
Pushed me into the goalpost, and my foot hit like this. And my body turned back. So, luckily, I didn't tear anything, but I sprained everything.
Dang.
And it was pretty much, that was my senior season. But at the time, I was ranked 5th in the nation in three-point percentage. And I was averaging 15, 5, and 3 or something, 2, something like that. But the thing that they don't mention is I never played 20 minutes in a college game.
I noticed that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe once.
You averaged a steal a game.
Yeah, so I was doing my thing. There's no question about that. I felt like I was repping the entire city of Lakewood. And we breed ballers there. That's why I'm doing pretty well here, because it's the same in PG County. You know what I'm saying? It's especially at the lake.
Yeah.
You know, our motto is, at the lake you either sink or swim.
Speaking of the lake,
saying?
it's been 15 plus.
Oh man, total?
That's just me being nice.
Yeah, total.
That went
over
pro.
100.
Over 100.
Went pro. That's including all levels of pro, like overseas,
including D1, D2.
Oh man, 35, 40, could be 50.
Sheesh.
D1, if you're saying D1, probably 25.
That's nice.
Yeah.
From
But
college.
all levels of pro is insane. Players in general is over 100. But you know, I've been running that gym, that rep for 22 years.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. But what means more to me than that is to see people come back through the doors with their children, and they're like, yeah, this Uncle B I was telling you about, he kept me out of trouble, because that's what was done for me.
Yeah. So it's coming full circle.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I'm talking about men and women. Bring their children back. They're doing well. And that's really what it's about. It's about passing it on for life, not just for basketball, but for life. So that's what it's about.
So you big on diversity, and I heard you would like to see more programs in the communities instead of just basketball.
Yes.
What's some of those things you would like to see?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. I believe in exposure. So the things that I can provide and present are, of course, athletics, but the arts. You need the arts. It's huge, and it has to be cultural. It has to be a cultural connection. You can present other arts too, but you gotta at least have it rooted in the cultural connection, you know. And then, man, listen, it could be pilot lessons. Children are sponges, and if you present it in front of them, you'd be surprised how many would like it. What's going on in this world now should be a lot of coding and a lot of computer programs, but there's other things too. You never know. Someone may want to drive a train for Metro.
Yeah.
Somebody may want to do opera. Just expose them to it. Let's take trips. Let's build the community up. Let's give out free tickets. Let's get people from out of the lake. Because even though it's the second biggest apartment complex on the East Coast, you know, it's 3,000 units. Probably 2,800 are used. So it's, yeah. If you don't have an aerial view of the block, then you stuck there because you can't see beyond the limits. And that's what was given to me. It just so happened to be through basketball, you know. But there's all kind of things. I just want people to come and bring their programs there because trust me, there's a child within that community somewhere that will be interested in what you provide. Guaranteed. So that's what we look for, man. Exposure.
So I remember you said boxing. You did boxing growing up and re-tapped into it when you was in your 30s.
30 years old.
So
way too late, but I did it.
what credit would you give to boxing for the disciplined person you are today?
My family. Especially my dad, man. Whew. I don't even want to get emotional on here, you know what I'm saying? But my dad is my idol.
Live your truth, man.
I just, you know, of course, like many dads, he philosophizes and gives you what his spill is on things. I do the same. But I learned, I'm sure I learned more just watching him and the giving person he is. And like I was my mother's only child outside my brother she raised. But with my dad, there's 7 of us. I'm the second. So that love unit is insane. Yeah. And my dad has been there for every one of us, bro. There's nobody who, we all have, you curse on that? We all have our stuff. Yeah. Oh, okay. We all have our shit with us. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But nobody is completely out here and wilding in the streets or an addict or a drunk or an abuser or anything like that. All 7 of us are you know, we contribute to society. Yes, so sir. That's my idol. That's kind of hard to follow up for anybody. You know what I'm saying? And I have my uncles, my mother's brothers. My Uncle Charles was my dad's my idol. My Uncle Charles is my superhero. And I have more, you know, uncles. My Uncle Leonard, my Uncle Tony, my Uncle Albo. I have so many uncles. My Uncle Donald who steps in place and is insane. But to be 100% honest, where it shaped me, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this. The women of my family. That's where my confidence comes from.
Really?
Really. The women in my family. So, the same way I watch my dad and my uncles, and I've always had to be with the women. Like I said, I was with my mom's sisters, even my aunts on my dad's side of the family, and they all, including my it's so many of us, I can't even explain it. But they all acted like I was as fine as Denzel Washington. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you got to be careful because they can gas you up and you be walking out here, you know, like. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, man, they always gave me pride, and I'm one of the cousins who are darker than some of my siblings. I mean, my cousins. Mm-hmm. So usually all of the boys except me and my brothers all have hazel eyes, green eyes, or something. So growing up, I had kind of a complex. You know what I mean? I don't got green or hazel eyes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather did, and I looked just like my granddad. Like I was told he came to the hospital when I was born, but he passed in July of '75, and I was born in February. So I never met him, had a conversation with him. I just always heard, growing up, that I looked just like my granddad. Mm-hmm. You know, he like, man, whatever, until I seen the pic. Blew me away. Oh, shit. But I had a complex, so I don't know if the women were over compensating or trying to make me feel, but it worked. I never felt like, you know. Now I wasn't as confident as some of them. So I got some some pretty boy cousins, man. Yeah. They have no fear when it comes to the girls, man. Hey, let me get your number. I've never been that cat. I was the funny guy, that dude. But yeah, man, the confidence comes from women. My mother, even though she, you know, we lost her early because of the excess partying and things that destroyed her body. Even in the midst of all of that, my mom was, you know, brilliant. And the stuff she would make me read and stuff she spoke to me about, and my aunt as well. All of them, the books that were put in my hands and just different things, you know, it just made me, you know, a little different. I still was ghetto as hell. I still was out there, out there wilding, but there was something always there that I knew I wouldn't go too far over the line. You know what I'm saying? So I seriously owe that to the women of my family. And that's serious. Both sides, like, insane. I can't just name them because then I gotta name all of them. You know what I'm saying?
So
but
you left me out.
I can't. I would never do that. But when I say, even now, bro, even my sisters be like, man, my brother fine. All this, you know, you got to be like, you supposed to say that. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to say that. So I mean, it's a good thing, man. Like, the confidence definitely came from there. So I guess everybody had their hands in it, to be honest. Especially with me losing my mother young, I think everybody, even the community, you know, certain teachers. I have cousins that I refer to as uncle, as aunt, because they're much older than me. Everybody really, I think because they knew it could go either way for me. I was that kind of mind at the time. So if they cultivated it, you know, it come out pretty decent. Like, I feel like I came out pretty decent. If they didn't, I know, you know,
could have been on the wrong track.
Oh, would have been. There's no. Yeah, because I have like kangaroo syndrome, I call it. I don't know any other way but it's no going backwards. So if it's going to be positive, if it's not. So I'm glad that they put their hands on me and they all reached in, cultivated me, and geared me in another direction, because now I feel like that's my life goal. I owe that. You know what I'm saying? If I don't do nothing else, I'm going to give that back. You know what I'm saying? So I guess everybody did play the part.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So if you could talk to 18-year-old you, what would you tell them something that you know now that you didn't know at that time?
It's going to be all right. Because, like I said, I'm trying to avoid any emotion.
Yes.
But I have a lot of loss. You know what I mean? Even in my adult life, I know you know about my daughter and everything. So,
yes, sir.
So I would just tell myself it's gonna be all right. Like, the motto it's funny because I posted a pic today, and the motto that I kind of live by right now is, it's never too late to become what you could have been. And I mean that, you know. But my dad told me day one, you're supposed to be on television. I fought that for years. I didn't want to do it. He said, you're supposed to be on radio, television personality, especially when I lost my mom. He had to step up, which he did, and try to pour positive confidence into me when a part of me wanted to
say
just, cause I lost a lot of people. I lost a lot. You know what I mean? But I don't know nothing else but to get up. I don't know how to do anything else but get up.
Do you almost feel it would be unfair for you to give up because of the lost ones and as you refer to your daughter, the missed opportunities that she didn't get?
Right. She was definitely a star. Only reason I went back to acting is because, like I said, she and my wife think I'm Brenzel Washington.
You got some good movies, man.
The only reason I'm even pursuing it like I am now is because of that. Because I know had she been here, she was a star. And I'm not saying that because it's my daughter. I'm serious. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get it less serious.
Right.
Can I put you on the spot real quick? Mm-hmm. I know you love all your fellas at the lake. Mm-hmm. I need a top 10 of all time. What's
Hoopers?
your top 10 hoopers?
Ooh, it's too many.
All right, I'll give you 15. It don't gotta to put you off the hook. It don't gotta be the best person. It gotta be who game you just was in love with, or I love this about him, his game. It don't gotta be overall who was like the best.
I can't. I gotta say first, I cannot include my sons because
Disclaimer, guys.
Yeah, I can't include Bones, Trey, and I can't include Yame because I think they do get over. There's one of mine right there. That's Kyle right there. But anyway, I can't include them. I really shouldn't be able to include Tawan either because it's like my son. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and no gender.
Yeah. Oh no, we got girls too.
Yeah, that's a boy and girl.
Oh man.
This a good one.
Let me start with the girls first.
All right, good.
So, we got to go with Kia Gibbs. Kia won 4 state championships. Her freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year. Oh man. Then we got Nikki Jett, who came down from Jersey like me. She was playing at Rutgers. She was giving the men problems. However they wanted it, she was giving it to them. Trust me. She brought her little sister to the gym, who I call the GOAT, because she scored the most points in a single Eleanor Roosevelt High School game. She had 58 points, and that's Octavia Wilson Jett. That's her little sister.
Yeah, Octavia Wilson.
Yeah. So we got them. We got Kyler. We got Kyler. We have man, there's so many girls, man. It's not fair because I didn't even get to see like some of them grow up and do their thing. Like
so you saying it?
Tracy, I don't know what I think she stopped playing. I think Issa, she stopped playing. I know Andrea stopped playing. It's so many. Chanel Haskins. Oh my God, Nellie Haskins, and my heart, who we have right now, who's kind of, I don't want to say my last young lady, but Mimi Samira Smith. She just
playing right now.
Yeah.
That's her
senior year. Yeah.
That's your fan, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard. I mean, and I know I'm leaving some girls out, Precious and Diamond and all of them. I can't even, because I didn't see what a lot of them moved away. The turnover rate in the Lake is insane too. Oh, yeah. So some people come and they move. Right. But for the men, man, come on, you can't do this to me, man. You can't do it to me, man. I can't do it.
All right.
It's so many though. We had so many. I mean, D Dot definitely goes up there because he's Eleanor Roosevelt all-time leading scorer. So, they don't give him his props either. But oh my God, I can't do it, bro. There's too many. I can't include Tawan. I can't even really say Dre. You got Mike Cunningham. You got my head'll explode. There's so many. You see my wall in there.
Yeah.
And if I name some, oh my God, Lynn Joe.
But I say just wrap it.
Yeah, it's so many. I don't want to leave nobody out, man. There's one I can tell you though that people overlook because he went to a smaller school, but he too won collegiately 4 years straight. He won a ring in college, his freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, and his name, Ahmad Israel. And he get overlooked all the time. But we got pro players. We're going to count the pro players, and you have Najee, you have Roddy back playing with the Go-Go right now.
Oh, Roddy back?
Yeah, you got Jamarco with the Pistons. You got, of course, Tawan. I mean, Doyen in Spain. It's so many people. It's not even fair for me to say, man. I'm just trying to go off of what's on my pro wall. It's too many, man. All of my son's teammates, I can't even include them either because trained most of them for hours, so I'm biased.
Yeah.
And that's not to mention who was already there when I first got here. Yeah.
So, how different is a play versus acting a movie? Is it more complex? Is it easier? Is it just about the same? In the mindsets.
For me, it may be different for different people, but for me, I think they're both difficult in a sense. But it was, I don't want to say it was easier, but I'm more comfortable if I'm on a stage and there's 5,000 people in the crowd. I'm calm, I'm comfortable. But if I'm in a room and there's 5 people, I'm nervous, if that makes sense. And I think, you look at me like I'm crazy. I think what it is if I'm in an arena or something, or if I'm putting on a play and there's a lot of people out there, I know everyone isn't just looking at me like, so they like, oh man, look, shorty bad, or you know what I'm saying? Oh, I like what my man got on, how he put that together. I mean, people are looking around. There's talking going on. There's some people might be on their phone. You know what I mean? But when you in a room and it's a film and it's just a boom mic over you, and it's the director and it's serious.
You feel the pressure.
Yeah, it's serious. And I guess the most difficult thing for me, well, I can't say it like I've mastered it because I still feel like I'm going through it, but projection or projecting. So when you're on stage, you talk loud, you project. But when you're in a film, you talking like you and I talking right now, because the broom mic can pick up everything. You know what I'm saying? So when you go to give emotion, you can't get loud like you're on the stage and give emotion, you know what I mean? But you still have to give emotion. And not everybody at a play can see your face. Everybody can see your face on film.
Dang, I never thought of that.
It's like football and basketball. You can see a good hit in football. Man, get up. Yeah, what? But if you were able to see under that helmet, he probably was like this. You know what I mean? In basketball, you can say, he's scared. That nigga's scared.
See everything.
Right. So it's the same thing to me in film and plays. We have a director, talented director, Carolyn. She was on me in the movie with Carrie Hilson and myself.
Her Lifeline.
Her Lifeline, which is a domestic awareness film, and she made me understand that I wasn't giving Danny Glover enough credit because he made me never want to see myself in that light. So she said, that's my obligation to the young men that are going to watch this. If I'm good enough, she challenged me. If you're good enough,
Yeah.
Like, what?
Dang.
So she made me understand the importance of stopping young men early because, trust me, when I seen that as a kid, I did not like that man.
So now as kids looking at you, I don't want to be like that man.
Bruh.
And it's a blessing in disguise.
Bruh, blessing in disguise. If I really hope, I did not enjoy, I want to say that clear, I did not enjoy the role, and I'm being honest about that. But I hope that it gets to some young man out there enough that they never want to see themselves in that light. So, yep. So that was. So where did I go? Doghouse, Coward's Dream. I was a featured extra in All In. That's the joint with Little Mama. I was Jim Jones' goon in that joint. And that was Mega Mind's media, man. Who movement right now is, they moving right now, man. And I was blessed to get in there. Yeah. Mega Mind Media, they on it. That was theirs. And then I got into A Rich Christmas.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Which will be
Joyous Jones
on BET on November 20th. Check us out. man, the cast in there is.
Oh,
is
so they putting it on BT.
Yeah, it'll be in BT.
Cause I saw it on BT Plus. It was good.
Yeah, it'll be on BT on the 20th. Also, wait a minute, I'm missing something. Oh, Her Lifeline. That was Mega Minds as well. And then you have Octet, which was Big 50 with Remy Ma.
Oh yeah, Big 50.
Yeah.
He was the Asian.
Remy killed that joke, man.
Yeah, that joke.
She killed it, man.
The Meek. You worked with Bill Bellamy and Remy Ma. What was something, because you say you're a sponge, something that you could say you learned from each one of them? Even if it's something
Bill,
small.
I was just those two.
Mm-hmm.
So Bill is OG, man. I've been watching Bill Bellamy for years. We have the same initials, so even growing up when I had hair, you know what I'm saying, my little box or whatever.
Yeah.
And he started Booty Call.
Yeah, that was on.
He did his stand up. His bit was about the booty call. I want to say he invented that term. I'm sure. I think he did. But I always got comparisons, even from people at school that I look like him. So to be able to work with him now, and he's cool. He left me and my right hand man Rick Goins, another large part of my success in this area. He had left us some tickets when he was out in Detroit, like maybe a couple weeks ago, to see a show. But what I learned from him, even that night and on set, treat everybody, not that I haven't, but you treat everybody with respect and a level of importance, but command the room. And in a positive way. You don't want to command the room when you walk away. People are like, what's wrong with this? Not that. In a way that when you leave, people are like, wow, I didn't know he was going to be that kind of a person. So I learned that from him. Remy, I feel like Remy attacked this joint like a hot 16, like a rap battle. She proved don't judge a book by its cover, because I know there was some people who was thinking, oh, she's not going to be able to, but she tapped in. But, I can't say too much about her. Remy fine. I can't really say. I can't say too much. But when she was talking, I felt like I was home. You know what I mean? I could hear it just sound like my aunts and sisters and everybody. So that was cool. But I just learned, once again, she's doing the same thing. She pushing herself. So if I could say I learned anything from her, is she took her skill set, her dominant skill set of MCing and rhyming, and she took it to the next level, which was her acting. And that's a hell of a debut. I don't know if that was her first major thing, but to rock that as a first, that's
that was a good
that's
move.
real, man. What, stay in character like that the whole time? I felt like when she and I did our scene, though, the interrogation scene, I felt like just her presence was like, yeah, I gotta step it up.
Yeah.
And this is Remy, you know what I'm saying? She don't know me.
You don't recognize yourself?
But I know, yeah, I know her, so I had to really,
She know you now.
Yeah, she might, I don't know.
Got that face card at least.
But they that whole situation, but that's what I mean about the arts. Like, to be able to translate that into acting, that tell you how dope she is. And Pap was there too. Pap was there and had a beautiful daughter there around and everything, man. To transfer that, your skill, into acting like that, ain't no telling what else in the bag. You know what I'm saying? So, I that's how I look at it. That's why I say it's never too late to become what you could have been. I spent my whole life not knowing on that level, but that's what I'm learning from her. I got some tricks in my bag, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. People would be shocked, they would, what? But they in there. So now I just plan on using some of them. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Use some of them. because I know the community watching, and somebody in there might want to do it.
Leading by example.
Absolutely.
Man, I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. You already know.
You're the only one that
man.
really replied to me.
You already know.
I feel like this is the start of history because I'm not going to give up. And it just took for one person like you to believe in me because our first conversation, I'm still calling it, when I describe you, my mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's how it's got to be. How many people out here don't believe in your own reflection? You a vampire or something?
Yeah.
There's a man give you a call, hit him back. We need that. And I'm saying, I've seen your work. You put in work in the community too, at the center. So I know what you're trying to do, man. It's funny to me that you look to talk to me for it, but I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? I'll take it.
It's an honor to talk to you, man.
It's the same here.
And before we go, I got to ask you one last question. But before you answer, you got to help them. You got to help it come true. Mm-hmm. What's one person you want to see on the show?
Oh, that I want to see on your show? That would be in the area too, right?
Yeah, I mean, reachable.
What I'd love to see on the show.
When I say first, if it's a few names, you can name them.
I would love to see, I would love to see Ricky Goins on here, DC Rick, because he has a lot of behind the scene connections, not just in basketball, but period.
DC Rick?
Yeah, DC Rick. I would love to see
DC
Rick.
Rick.
I would love to see. Some people would cuss me out, but I know I would love to see him on here because the things he has going on right now is amazing, especially for athletes. This guy, young too, young and driven and focused, man. But as what you mean, like an artist or something, or?
So this show, my goal is not to keep it boxed in. You're not gonna know who I'm gonna have next week. It could be a chef, it could be a homeless man, it could be a dumpster driver. I wanna highlight people's life who is out here really doing something for the community. So
right.
It's nothing. It don't gotta be an athlete.
Oh, I'm gonna get you some names. I got a few.
That's a bet though.
Especially what you say as chef.
Your wishes never be declined. Ain't clocking no bitches. All I know is grind. Was raised from the trenches. Had a hard time. No lights in the dark. Listen to the signs. Be what you wanna. Fuck the other side. Stayed on my pivot. Had to maintain. She's with the funnel. Gon' keep me sane. But the world gon' scream out my name. Up the school on the run like a train. How you feel when you taking the pain? Empty thoughts, cause I blew out his brain. Better know that I don't want the fame. Where it shine, yeah, you know it's gon' rain. Run up my chips, put them in the bag. Lane sleeper, but I can't fucking lag. Going far, got 220 on dash. In the club, stripper bitches with ass. Not my wife, and then you can't fucking crash. Lux life, stood away from the grass. Like Mike, all alone in the end. Heart broke, better get you a